So yes, I have been tagged with the 8 questions by That Murder Inc. and I will answer them. But first, a couple quick announcements. First, ta-da! It's part of my Father's Day present. Let me know what you think. Also, I have some thank yous to hand out. I want to mention quick a few channels that have given me shout outs and mentioned my channel. We have Interp66. He has a pond in his backyard. Go check that out. We have the Top Water King. He said a lot of great things about my channel. Go check out the lures that he sells. We have Who's Your Back Outdoors. He did a great little review of my channel. Thank you very much. We have Easy 2 Tips and Tricks, etc., etc. I was part of the shout out video that he recently did, so thank you very much for that, sir. And of course we have That Murder Inc. who tagged me for this video. Now guys, if you ever mention my channel name in one of your videos, please let me know, because I want to thank you in some way, shape, or form, whether it be a comment or in the next video. I do not have much time. I work a lot of hours. I have 3 kids, a wife, a mortgage. They all take priority over YouTube. So I'm not able to watch all the videos that I want to. I miss a lot. So please just let me know, because I really do appreciate those kinds of things and I want to thank you. Okay, so let's get into those 8 questions, right? Number 1, what was your most memorable trip? My most memorable trip was a trip to the Boundary Waters in Minnesota when I was in middle school with my mom, dad, and brother. The Boundary Waters canoe area of Minnesota is the most beautiful place I've ever seen. You canoe in, you bring everything with you, and you canoe out. We went there, we camped for a week, we saw all kinds of wildlife. We saw moose, deer, you name it. And we had trout jumping in the boat. We ate our limit of trout every day for a week. It was awesome. Solo or social camp? I'm gonna definitely say social, just because everything is so much easier when there's more people involved that can share the workload. Not only that, but things are just more fun when you can share them with other people. Number 3, what is your favorite knife? My favorite knife is my fixed blade hunting knife that I use to field dress big game. It's a buck knife. It's about this long. It's a black handle. It's actually missing in action right now. And I looked for about a day before making this video. I couldn't find it anywhere. There's actually a bounty in my house out to the first person that can find this knife. It means a lot to me. I've actually gutted all my deer with this one knife. So losing that knife is like almost losing a finger. So tell me in the comments below where you think I should look next, and if your comment even inspires me to look in the right place and I find it, I will definitely make it worth your while. Number 4, where did you learn your bushcraft skills? Well, first I should start off by saying I didn't hear the term bushcraft till a couple months ago, and I actually heard the term on YouTube. But I'll tell you where I learned most of those kinds of skills. Now, when I was growing up, I actually grew up on an apple orchard. Now, most orchards have what's called a windrow. Now, a windrow is a tall strip of trees that protects the fruit trees from wind. The windrow that we had was much thicker than a typical orchard would have. And this windrow ran the entire length of the property. And my brother and I spent nearly all of our time out in this windrow, and we would do all sorts of stuff. I had this book, this little green book. It was a hardcover, canvas bound. It was called The Boy's Guide to Camping, or The Boy's Guide to Survival, something like that. Not Boy Scouts, but just The Boy's Guide. It wasn't a very long book, but it had everything in it. It had how to make lean-tos, first aid. It had a section on trapping, a section on what plants to stay away from, what plants you could eat, that type of thing. And I would go out into this windrow and I would copy everything I could from that book. And I learned an awful lot from that. Now, I also learned a lot of these skills from my firearm safety course. Now, my firearm safety course was done through 4-H, which is a club for kids. I was 11 years old. And this course, I don't think it's like the normal firearm safety. This course had everything in it. Everything from how to skin an animal, wilderness survival, of course how to make the shelters, sections about firearms as well. My dad was an assistant instructor in that class, and I learned so much from him. And when I started hunting, he's the one who came in and taught me everything else about the things I was hunting, about tracks and all that. I mean, Since I was 6, he was teaching me all this stuff too, so I probably actually learned the most from my dad, but also those other 2 things as well. What is my favorite fire starting method? Okay, well, I don't really do anything too fancy here. I'll usually go for convenience, okay? Typically, most of my fires are started with a big lighter. But my most favorite way to start a fire is to take an empty beer box, put some kindling in it, and light it all up with this thing, a propane torch. So what is the most essential part of my kit? Well, I had the hardest time answering this question. I don't really have a kit. So I actually interpret kit as what you have on your person. And then, even then, that question was difficult. So I'm actually going to cheat and give you 3 items, because there's always 3 items that are with me when I'm out hunting. First item, gun. Because when I'm out hunting, I'm out there to harvest an animal. Second item, compass. Now I do know the areas that I hunt pretty well, but I have been known to get turned around, and I have been called the wayward son more than once. So typically what I do is I just pin this to my sleeve, and then I always have the directions with me. Because when you're chasing a grouse or tracking a deer, a lot of times you get turned around. Third item is a knife for taking care of that animal you just shot. Question 7, do I prefer a wood, gas, or spirit stove? Short answer is gas. I have a small portable propane stove for general purpose cooking. For heating at the hunting shack, we use a wood stove, a wood barrel stove. Question number 8, do you have a bug out bag? Kind of. I don't have a bug out bag in the prepper sense, but I do have what I call the green equipment bag. And that is the bag I take with me every time I go hunting. Usually the same stuff is in there year round, and I suppose that would be something I would grab if I had to get up and run. And I'll show you what's in it. This is just an old repurposed tackle box. So we have a machete. This is great for cutting shooting lanes. This is great for limbing trees. And because this one's one of the thicker machetes, this can also kind of double as a hatchet. We have a mag light, duct tape, never leave home without it. Range finder. I suppose not all this is bug out bag stuff, but it's all hunting stuff. Rope, binoculars. I have a multi-tool here. It's great. It's got a lot of different tools on it. Of course, got all this stuff on it too. Thermocell for keeping the mosquitoes off me. Knife, of course. This is my backup knife. I still want that buck knife. 100% DEET. I put this on my pants and my boots for wood ticks. Got a pocket knife here. Lighter for starting fires. Smaller flashlight. Compass, of course. Backup pocket knife. And of course, last but not least, pistol. This is a Taurus Model 627. It is a 357 7-shot cylinder. I know Taurus gets a lot of hate on the internet, but it shoots straight and has so far been very reliable. This does not reside in the green equipment bag year round, just because of all the children I have running around. This is actually kept in a very large gun safe. And actually this pistol will get some company, because last week I actually caved and bought a new pistol. And I'm gonna unbox that for you in one of the upcoming videos. You guys want a preview? Okay, but you gotta look quick. Okay, so those are my answers to the 8 questions. Now I'm gonna pick on 2 channels and I'm interested to hear their answers as well. The first one is gonna be Papa Rome's Productions TM. This guy knows so much about the outdoors. He took a year off of work just to make YouTube videos about everything he knows. Go check him out. Go give him some support. Next is going to be Pine Tree Line Outdoors. I want to hear your answers too, buddy. I see this guy doing a lot of stuff outdoors. He likes his MREs, and I think you'll have some great answers too. So that is it for this video, guys. Please leave a comment. Let me know where I can find my knife. Remember, I'll make it worth your while. Let me know what you think about this shirt. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.